Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, this is my last video. And what I want to talk about is the TV show Shots Fired. I want to give you all my review of that show. And really, it's more of an analysis than a review. The show is pretty good, it's entertaining, it's engaging, and I plan to watch it again next week. But in the show, they raise a lot of serious questions. I mean, one of the primary questions that stand out is this: can a black man be racist? I think that that's a primary issue in this show because it's about a black police officer who kills a young white man, and this black police officer was recorded making some racist statements towards white people, talking about how he's glad that he has a badge because now he has a license to kill white people and all this and that, if I'm not mistaken. So there's an issue about racism, a black officer being racist, because also this officer talked about how a white person who happens to be in a particular neighborhood must be engaged in a drug transaction. So again, that's a case of racial profiling because essentially he stopped this white guy because the white guy was in a black neighborhood, and this was an affluent white guy in a black neighborhood, and he thought that that raised suspicions, and just based on that he was profiling this white man. And the question is that really racial profiling? And can it be compared to what African Americans regularly go through? And I'm just going to raise these questions without answering them. I want to hear from y'all. I mean, do you think a black police officer can be racist towards white people? And also, do you think it's fair for this show to compare this incident to racial profiling that happens against black people and against, compare it to the police brutality that black people face? So I want to hear from you on that issue. Also, one thing that I thought was interesting in this show is that this interracial relationship dynamic that they have going on in the show. I mean, you have this black young attorney who hooks up with this white woman. You have the black female lead who was in a relationship at one point with I think he's Latino, and she has a biracial child. Apparently, it seems like she still has feelings for this man. The relationship is over and he's married another woman and all that kind of stuff. But this black woman still seems to have these desires for this guy. That's the impression that I get at this point. And she's going through some kind of custody battle and all this and that. She's a dysfunctional character on the show. And I think that raises the questions of how black women are depicted. She's depicted as a typical angry black woman. And I think that is very problematic. I mean, she's an angry black woman, and in addition to being an angry black woman, she's also like they depict her as promiscuous, like she's easy and all that stuff. And I won't go into detail for those who haven't seen it. Also, they raise this whole question of Black Lives Matter. They try to paint Black Lives Matter and the movement as being basically racist by basically saying that only Black Lives Matter. Again, that was an issue that's problematic. And again, this comes from Fox News. I mean, Fox, Fox does Fox News, and Fox News is notorious for defending police that kill black people. So it's not a coincidence that they would put out some show like this. Fox News has an agenda without a doubt. So it raises a lot of questions. And then, they also talked about like how that this particular case and this show where you have a young white man being killed by a black officer. They talked about how that case is getting more attention and more investigation than these all these other cases of black victims being killed by the police. So I think that was an interesting issue. And also in this show, the black officer is I think he's the only black officer on this police force, and this police force serves a predominantly black community. So there are a lot of politics around that issue. You know, they deal with the issue of police intimidation, which is a very real issue. Like the public is afraid to talk to the investigators about this incident of police brutality because they fear retaliation. So these are like broad themes that came up. You know, I would go into them more, but maybe I'll do that in another video. But I want to hear from you. What did you think about this show? Did you watch it? If so, what is your take on it? And what do you think about the question that I raised about a black police officer being racist or black people being racist? All right, so tell me your thoughts. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.